Good day, everybody. It is a hot day here in Sydney, as many of you already know. But it is summer. It is pretty toasty outside. But that again helps us all the more to appreciate the many seasons of the year. And not only the natural seasons, but also the liturgical seasons. We are in ordinary time, and as you have heard me say any number of times, ordinary time is anything but ordinary. This is a time in which we take how we have been touched by the grace of God and we begin to cultivate it. We begin to help it to grow so that we may be all the more committed followers of Jesus. Today, speaking of Jesus, we hear about something pretty important that we need to always remember in the gospel. So I want to pray the gospel according to Matthew, the gospel for this day's liturgy. Jesus said to his disciples, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? Did we not drive out demons in your name? Did we not do mighty deeds in your name?' Then I will declare to them solemnly, 'I never knew you. Depart from me, you evildoers.' Everyone who listens to these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and buffeted the house. But it did not collapse. It had been set solidly on rock. And everyone who listens to these words of mine but does not act on them will be like a fool who built his house on sand. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and buffeted the house, and it collapsed and was completely ruined." My sister Ann, after she graduated from graduate school, the University of Minnesota, she went directly to Washington, D.C. She has been on the East Coast for over 40 years. She has lived in Alexandria, Virginia, McLean, Virginia, Catonsville, Maryland, and now Frederick, Maryland. I remember when she bought the house in Frederick, and I remember Ann saying, as well as other people, this house is going to take a lot of work. And for over the 40 years, she has put a lot of work into this house. It has continued to take shape and form. We all know that that is how it works with any house. We continue to develop it. But of course, before she bought the house, she had it appraised, but she was concerned about the foundation. She wanted a strong, steady foundation. Today, we know that our church, over the period of 2,000 years, continues to evolve. It continues to change, responding to the needs of the people, whose needs are ever new all of the time. But we pray that we have a strong foundation. And we do have a strong foundation in the person of Jesus the Christ, this cornerstone. He is the source of our foundation, this house, this home we call church, but then too, he is the source of all of our unity. As a Catholic Church throughout the world, this diocese, the Diocese of Grand Island, and of course our parishes, St. Patrick's and St. Joseph's. Today we pray too that we be all the more thankful, because as we encounter this endemic, this terrible healthcare crisis throughout our world, we pray that this church will withstand all of these storms. The storms that accompany the pandemic, and the storms which potentially can fracture our very lives. Let us again know that our foundation is that of Jesus. And as we emerge from this global health crisis, we are confident that we will emerge all the more together. We put aside our own agendas. We allow the gospel to be the guiding light in each of our lives, individually and, of course, collectively. This is the unity we espouse, and this is the unity we must share. Let us again be thankful. Let us recognize our need for God, our need for each other as church, and let us take care of each other in that spirit. Make it a cool and wonderful afternoon. Thank you.